No survivors!
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we'll be going over 10 unanswered questions we have about The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. For this list, we'll be looking at some of the lingering questions we have about the upcoming sequel, as well as leftovers from Breath of the Wild that we hope it will answer, like, why can't we pet the dogs? But really, if there's a Tears of the Kingdom question you're sad we didn't include, let us know about it in the comments. Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Will there be a new companion?
Oh, Cupcake Bridge. One
Most 3D Zelda titles have featured Link going on adventures accompanied by some kind of companion. These have ranged from fairies to a shadowy imp to a talking boat. However, Breath of the Wild eschewed this tradition in favor of more solitary adventures across Hyrule. Sure, you can tame horses and other animals, but they're considerably less chatty than Link's usual friends. And while you can do some occasional adventures that tie in with the champions, we're hoping Tears of the Kingdom will include a more committed friend for us to go through the game with. How is Hyrule different?
They are essential to Hyrule's future, and our research demands that we keep a close eye on them. However, as the princess, you currently have a crucial unfulfilled responsibility to your kingdom.
From the teasers and trailers for Tears of the Kingdom so far, it's clear that Hyrule will be different than in Breath of the Wild, with floating islands rising above the familiar landscape. But how much of that landscape will remain? Have these sky islands changed or destroyed landmarks from Breath of the Wild? Did they uncover new areas to explore down below, either in existing locations or because you can now explore beyond previous boundaries? And what about the people? Are the various villages and kingdoms still intact, and are there any new ones you can visit? Hyrule is a vast land, and our number of questions about it is equally large. Will Link's Rune abilities return? Breath of the Wild introduces several abilities almost immediately in the Great Plateau that become staples of your journey. These rune powers include bombs, forming ice blocks, stasis, and magnesis. But we're wondering if all of them will carry over to Tears of the Kingdom. The trailers so far don't show Link with his familiar Sheikah Slate, which is used to switch between the runes. While Link appears to use some new abilities and something that looks similar to stasis in one of the trailers, it's unclear if it's a new power or an upgrade of his existing one. We just hope we can keep using infinite bombs. I don't know if I can go back to bomb bags again. What were the Leviathans, and will they return? Hey! Throughout Hyrule, you can discover many relics of the past. Some of these were once alive. There are 3 massive skeletons that can be found and photographed for a side quest. These whale-like creatures are known only as Leviathans. Are they merely clues that Hyrule used to be underwater, or did the Leviathans somehow fly through the air? The latter would certainly tie into the new airborne setting, and it wouldn't be the first time flying whales appeared in the series, after all. Whether we see a living Leviathan, or they stay just bones, we hope we'll get more answers. Who are the Zonai? Some of the other relics Link encounters in Breath of the Wild are from lost civilizations. One of these cultures is a tribe known only as the Zonai. They are connected to several of the large labyrinths found throughout Hyrule, as well as ruins in the jungle area of the Faerun region. They're also responsible for crafting the powerful barbarian armor set, indicating a warlike mindset. The trailers of Tears of the Kingdom have thus far shown several markings and symbols consistent with the Zonais, so it's likely that they'll be important to the game's plot. Hopefully, we can gain more insight into this lost culture. What's the deal with Link's arm? The Tears of the Kingdom footage and promotional material have shown Link with what appears to be a prosthetic arm. The arm glows green and looks like it's made of ancient Sheikah tech. From what we've seen so far, it looks as if it may be related to some of his new abilities, since he's seen raising it when using some of them in the trailers. Have all of his powers been integrated into the arm now? And, perhaps more importantly, if the arm is indeed a prosthetic, how does Link incur the most lasting injury he's ever suffered? We have a feeling Ganon, or maybe another villain, is involved. When will it take place? Given that Tears of the Kingdom shows Zelda and Link sporting the same or similar looks to the ones they have in Breath of the Wild, we can safely assume that it takes place after its predecessor. Well, at least for the characters. Time travel is an option, as most 3D Zelda titles have featured it to some degree. And Link's outfit in some shots of the trailers looks considerably less refined and more primitive than his usual getup. Given the apparent involvement of the Zonai, we're definitely not ruling out a trip to the past, is all we're saying. What's Zelda's role?
You sound like Father. He's assigning a knight to watch over me wherever I go.
While Zelda herself is not physically present for much of Breath of the Wild, she's still a major fixture in the game, thanks to the memories you find throughout Hyrule. These help flesh out not only the game's story, but also her character, and make Zelda feel more grounded and dynamic than in many past entries. We're just wondering how active the princess will be in Tears of the Kingdom, and how she's handling her trauma for that matter. Will the game return her to the classic damsel role, or is she once again fighting against your foe in a different way? Or does a calamity befall her? Are the Tears of the Kingdom hers, or are they for her? We eagerly await the answers to all of these questions.
But Link, I am not sure you'll be able to stop him.
What will the dungeons be like? Dungeons are an integral part of the Zelda experience. Breath of the Wild departed from the traditional style with divine beasts and shrines, both of which tend to be smaller and more uniform than dungeons past. Will Tears of the Kingdom follow suit with simpler dungeons, or will they be more elaborate and varied? Where will these dungeons be located? Hyrule Castle appears to be floating in one of the trailers. Will it be the only airborne castle, or will the new dungeons be flying fortresses too? Whatever they look like, they're sure to put us to the test, and we're just hoping to study up beforehand. Will weapons still break easily? Arguably, one of players' biggest gripes with Breath of the Wild is how easily weapons break. I mean, glass is more durable than most of these things. And yet, Link must still save Hyrule while never knowing if the metal sword he's using will disintegrate in his hands. Although most players acknowledge that it does force us to switch up our playstyle and weapons constantly, it does get a little annoying. Has Nintendo heard our complaints? Do weapons still break with little warning? Can we at least get more repair options or some better information on how long each will last? Here's hoping our hopes and our weapons won't be shattered.
Check out these other great clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.